Assalamu alaikum. Day 5 of the blessed month of Ramadan. I'll read to you from the chapter called Imran, almost the entire page, due to what's been going on recently as the tension increases and the confusion seems to know no bounds. Run to Quran. Let's go. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنما ذلكم الشيطان يخوف أولياءه فلا تخافوهم وخافوني إن كنتم مؤمنين ولا يحزنك الذين يسارعون في الكفر إنما لن يضروا الله شيئا يريد الله ألا يجعل لهم حظا في الآخرة ولهم عذاب عظيم إن الذين اشتروا الكفر بالإيمان لن يضروا الله شيئا ولهم عذاب أليم ولا يحسبن الذين كفروا أنما نملي لهم خير لأنفسهم إنما نملي لهم ليزدادوا إثما ولهم عذاب مهين. I'll translate this myself because I don't want to have to use the other book. It's cumbersome. Now, I mentioned by starting this that it's getting crazier, right? So Allah will say here, truly, it's the shaitan who's scaring you. Scaring who? Awliya'ahu, those who give him the power. So, la yakhafuhum wa khafun. Do not be afraid of them. Just be afraid of Allah. If you are believers. Also, do not get sad about those who are rushing in disbelief. They cannot harm Allah at all. Allah wants to not give them any share of the goodness. And then, وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ. They're going to get a very, very painful punishment. Verily, those who purchase disbelief instead of faith, they will never harm Allah in any way. And once again, lahum adabun alim. You know these two places where it says adabun alim, and then right after that, adabun alim. This happens in Surah Al-Baqarah, the same way, one right after another. The adabun alim is going to be so huge, so giant, so terrifying, alim. There's no escape from it. And the adabun alim, it's painful. In case you didn't understand alim, Allah gives you alim. Seems more simple, doesn't it? Adabun alim. It's all bad. You don't want any of it. And then, do not think, وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَا, do not gauge, الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. Don't ever dream, يَحْسَبَنَّ. In any way, don't calculate that these disbelievers are being given respite. Is good for them? خَيْرٌ لِأَنفُسِهِمْ نُمْلِي لَهُمْ. It means let them go. Give them some more rope to hang themselves. Don't ever think that this is good for them. Allah only does it, نُمْلِي لَهُمْ لِيَزْدَادُوا إِثْمًا, so that they can get more sin. وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ مُهِينٌ. Now we have a third description of punishment. Muhin, debasing, humiliating punishment. وما كان الله ليذر المؤمنين على ما أنتم عليه حتى يميز الخبيث من الطيب وما كان الله ليطلعكم على الغيب ولكن الله يجتبي من رسل من يشاء فآمنوا بالله ورسله وإن تؤمنوا وتتقوا فلكم أجر عظيم. 4 lines is this long verse. Allah says He is not leaving believers على ما أنتم عليه to ever be affected what you're on حتى يميز الخبيث من الطيب, until He differentiates, distinguishes the very khabith, evil, from the tayyib, from the good. Also, وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُطْلِعَكُمْ عَلَى الْغَيْبِ, you're not going to find out anything about the unseen. وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَجْتَبِي مِنْ رُسُلِهِ, Allah is the one who chooses His messengers. مَنْ يَشَاءُ فَآمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ وَرُسُلِهِ, whoever He wills, so believe in Allah and His messengers. وَإِن تُؤْمِنُوا وَتَتَّقُوا, if you believe and you're pious, فَلَكُمْ أَجْرٌ عَظِيمٌ, you're going to get a fantastic reward. There we have a azim again. Something huge is coming to you of good, whereas the adab and azim, something huge, comes to them from bad. وَلَا يَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ يَبْخَلُونَ بِمَا آتَاهُمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ هُوَ خَيْرًا لَهُمْ بَلْ هُوَ شَرٌ لَهُمْ. I'm going to split this ayah because it's very scary. I have to tell you right now, this ayah scares me so much. Allah says, do not ever gauge that those who are stingy with what I have given, with what Allah, بِمَا آتَاهُمْ, with what Allah has given of His favor, min fadli, huwa khayran lahum, that it's good for them. Bal huwa sharun lahum, no, it's evil for them. Stingy people who don't respect what Allah has given them and they don't do enough. That's what scares me so much about this. I have to tell you something after. A friend told me in Egypt. سَيُطَوَّقُونَ مَا بَخِلُوا بِهِ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ, they will be having what they were stingy about, like a collar around their necks, encircling their necks. All I could think of is prisoners when they put those black iron collars. I don't know, the slaves had them. I've seen it before, around their necks. This will happen Yawm al-Qiyamah. وَلِلَّهِ مِيرَاثُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ, Allah is the one who will give you your mirath, what is due you, of the samawati, the skies and the earth. وَاللَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ خَبِيرٌ. Now, what was the scary thing that happened to me? When I was in Egypt, after I had been there for perhaps, maybe it was 16, 17 years, one of the magnificent Ahl Quran, one of those women that I respect and love, her name was Mus'ab. Her given name was Su'ad. She's currently teaching Aqidah and always working in the Hifz of Quran, Ma'ahad. And one day I was in her home. There's another one with 8 children that just makes time for things. And she said, when are you going to go back to help your people? And I said, oh, when I finish Quran. I don't want to go back until I finish Quran. And she said, oh, really? You think that's going to be good for you on Judgment Day? That you're going to wait until you finish Quran when we have hundreds of thousands of Quran memorizers here in Egypt and your people don't have anything. They're starving. So I suggest, to be on the safe side, that you will go back soon and help your people. Did I go back right away? No. And I think she was probably teaching this last verse of Imran. I think that's what made her say that, because she would go so often to teach the women who would memorize. You see how Quran just like, it hits you where it hurts. And it also hits you in a loving way. It just does everything at the same time. It's Quran, it's the words of Allah. And every time you open it, you're going to find something new. And you say, well, wait a minute, I read that before, but I never understood. It's Quran. Let's get busy. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.